What's happening, everybody? This is the Pensive Brothers podcast. This is Aaron.
And this is Elliot.
Hope everybody out there is having a fantastical day,
Fantastical.
week, month, year, all that.
Existence.
Yeah,
century.
yeah. We've been a little hit and miss on dropping content. And I apologize.
Who's we?
You, me, the pod. But we are back, and we're going to be more consistent starting today.
We said that the last time.
We did.
But we really mean it.
We mean it. Like, we're back.
This time, we really mean it.
Yeah, yeah. It's been, I'm not going to lie, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, you guys.
Yeah,
so,
it's been wild. It's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. We're not going to go political today. We're going to have some fun.
Oh.
But just so everyone knows, we're all probably going to die.
I mean, there is a 100% chance that is going to occur.
Russia is off the coast of Florida. We are fighting. Well, we're still fighting a shadow war in Africa, but let alone the proxy war that we got going on in Ukraine and Israel and now Russia and Syria and Yemen.
Oh, we're disguising ourselves in aid trucks and murdering people.
Well, yeah. So just know we need to pray, and I hope that you guys are saving up enough money to go on vacation before boomers destroy the environment and
to be fair, it's
blow
not
all our selves.
It's not just the boomers. I mean, we're all destroying the environment.
We are. But the moral of the story is, if you have not, go to Jamaica. So,
I don't think that's the moral of the story.
It is.
But moving on.
It's the moral of my story.
I see.
Every adult should go to Jamaica. Jamaica is a beautiful place that everyone needs to go to, including you. So, I need you to go to Jamaica.
I've been there.
You ain't been to Jamaica.
Sure I have. In my dreams.
In your dreams?
That's right. It's good enough for me.
No.
I've been to lots of tropical locations. I think I'm good.
You have?
Yes.
I know you went to the Bahamas and Mexico, but...
Yes, that's plenty.
That's only 2.
How many do I need to go?
And what other
I live next to Virginia Beach.
And what other context? Virginia Beach is not tropical. Don't play with me.
Hey, listen.
And what other context?
These temperatures, I can't tell.
It's 2 lots. You said I've been to lots.
I mean...
If I have lots of money, do I have $2?
If you've been assaulted, like if Mike Tyson has punched you in the face twice and you're not a boxer, that's a lot of times to get punched by Mike Tyson.
No, it's not. I'm just saying. He only punched you twice.
You might not survive the second time.
Go look at that fight between Mike Tyson and Jose Rebalta. He punched him like 590 times.
I did specifically say not a boxer. Now, if you're a boxer,
okay,
you got a better chance of not dying.
Well, you need to go to Jamaica. There's just beautiful things there and delicious foods, and just everything there is great.
I mean,
the water is so blue, it's crazy. If you got let's take this off ramp. If you guys have not taken the time to save up some money and go on a real vacation, you guys need to do that, because there's something special. There's something special about looking at how blue the water is supposed to look. Can you imagine how blue the water probably was before? Like industrialization,
and how
blue the water probably was everywhere.
I mean,
it probably was bluer.
Can you imagine what everything looked like before industrialization, though?
Yeah,
because I will argue that you like tropical locations. I like mountains. So there is nothing like driving on a wide open road and staring and seeing a mountain that conceptually it doesn't look that big, but the more you drive, you're just like, bro, it has not changed shape. But it just keeps getting bigger, and then you get closer and closer, and then you're looking up at it, and you're like, this thing is bigger than anything I've ever seen in my entire existence.
A couple of years back, you might remember, me and Julio went to Denver.
Mm-hmm.
We went to a Broncos game in Denver. And so we flew out there. We spent like 4 days in Denver, and we did everything that we could get our hands on out there. And I remember we went to see Bill Burr in concert at the Red Rock.
Bill Burr's hilarious.
Bill Burr's he's my favorite white comedian. He's hilarious. Everything, because I've seen him live 2 or 3 times now. But they have this Red Rock amphitheater that's literally a amphitheater built into the side of a mountain. If you guys want to see it, Google the Red Rock amphitheater in Colorado.
What you're talking about, because we went to the Red Rock Canyons.
Yes,
and saw the you're driving through, and it's just layers.
It's just stairs. It's
crazy,
and it's crazy. You gotta walk up 1,000 stairs to get up there.
But
when we were driving to the amphitheater, the Rockies were right there.
Mm-hmm.
So on the way out there, all you see is mountain, everywhere. And you can't conceptualize how big a actual mountain is. Not a hill, not even a small mountain, a little one.
No.
You can't conceptualize how big a mountain is until you get up against the mountain and you really look up at it. It's not like what you see on TV. It was unbelievable.
And it kind of puts into perspective those people who really like to rock climb mountains, because I'm thinking about, okay, you have spent something like 2 days just walking and climbing and walking.
Prepping your like the amount of time it probably takes you to get to the top of these giant mountains, like the people that climb like Everest and stuff.
Right.
Like you guys,
and
what are you doing?
You're spending years just practicing climbing mountains and sleeping,
working on your breathing,
right?
Like prepping the food and getting yourself in shape enough to do it. Because people die.
Yeah, putting yourself in low oxygen environment so you can, still function without enough air.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
but so I don't just travel to tropical locations. I like them for the cruises, but like the cruise we're going on next year, that one's going to Dubai. So, it's Dubai. If these countries are still there, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, all that. So going to the Mediterranean, over there, Arab world.
Hey, listen, I need us to stop causing chaos everywhere.
We're not going to stop. My plan is, this is my plan. I'm going to travel to as many countries as I can.
Before they're destroyed?
Before they all get destroyed. Or climate change takes us all out. Or it gets too hot to go to the Middle East. Right?
I don't think climate change is a short-term problem.
I don't either, but it hasn't been a short-term issue. It's been going on for a long time. Like, it really got bad like World War II time, but
I gotta get like a bell or something when I get ready to go into a conspiracy theory. Like I need like
yeah.
Like a conspiracy gong and just hit the gong.
We have a bell in the other room in there that Julia bought in Vegas that says "ding for sex." If you want to get that, and you can just.
I am absolutely not getting your ding for sex bell.
No, we don't use it. She just bought it and thought it was funny. We don't use it. Like, I don't need to ring a bell for that. Just ask like a normal person. Right?
Anyway, there is an island just north of Antarctica called Bouvet Island. And if you start looking around on Google Earth, you will notice that there are several islands that are south of Africa and Europe and South America that have just really weird things going on with them. One thing is in 2017, lots of these islands just disappear from Google Earth for about 3 years and then they reappear.
What?
With no explanation. You can see them before 2017. You can see them after 2020. But for those 3 years, Google blacked them out so you couldn't see them.
Why do you know that?
Because I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what's going on in the world.
Wait, you said that the island that's still there now,
the island wasn't still
showing on Google Earth.
It was not showing on Google Earth. Other people are,
but it's showing now. So who cares?
Okay, I'll tell you who cares. Since 2020, we have had lots of very odd warming patterns in the southern hemisphere's waters. Specifically, a lot of these islands that disappeared for those 3 years now have large blobs of warm water that radiate out from the island. Now, generally, the ocean has hot spots and cold spots, but it's swirling. It will be big circles. It does not move in straight lines because nature does not function in straight lines. Most of the time, if you have a ripple in a pond, it goes out in a circle. So for a straight line of warm water to come off of an island is very weird. And
you think that that's like some type of man-made something? We don't know what, but something.
Because generally, if it were natural, if you look at all the natural patterns that occur all the other times, they move in big swirls like this.
Yeah.
This is going whoop, whoop, and it
like almost mechanical.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and there are multiple islands where this sort of thing is happening. And
this is the type of thing, you guys. This is the type of thing that requires you to put away $40 a pay period so you can go on a cruise. Because if you don't, that island is going to disappear and you're never going to get the chance to see it.
I mean, lots of things might disappear.
Yeah, they're saying Florida and New Orleans are going to go underwater.
Well, and so my question is, why do we have islands that are creating warming patterns and then everybody's like global warming? No, like, what is that?
People aren't saying global warming anymore. They're saying climate change.
People are saying climate change. I apologize.
Well, global warming is just statistically inaccurate because other things are happening. It's not just that. That's not
my point. Is if we have things that we are actively doing that are warming waters,
which we do
north of Antarctica,
correct?
Actively. I don't mean like, hey, we did something and then that was a consequence. I mean there is a station, outpost, scientific research center, whatever you want to call it, that is creating warm waters. We should probably stop doing that until we figure out what's going on with climate change.
Have you considered becoming a multi-billionaire who can affect policy?
Oh, I've considered it.
Okay. Well, until you do that, no.
I mean,
that's the answer.
Do you know how to become a billionaire?
Have you considered getting an $8 million loan from your father?
I did try that. He said no.
You could sue a 7-figure company
I mean,
and then invest the money in the stock market.
you need a lot of money to sue people, though.
Dang it. Okay. You could become a congressman
Ooh, that's a good one.
and then do insider trading.
I'd have to sell out, though. I kind of like my morals. They keep me spiritually.
We running out of
grounded.
options here, sir.
And listen,
Like,
you know,
okay, the only other option that I have is you can prostitute yourself and you could come
That's
up with like a really catchy name, something that rhymes, like Hubba Bubba or something. And then
Hubba Bubba.
whatever. I'm just giving you options. And then
I'm pretty sure that's trademark.
you would facts. Yeah, we're screwed.
Yeah.
So back to the cruise option.
I mean, I guess to go on vacation till the world ends is the only option.
So anyway, let's get into what we're actually talking about today.
Which is
we're gonna go back years ago to our childhood here.
Back in the time.
So I was telling Halia, like, okay, so one thing that I do is I have this habit of every time it's really nice weather outside, I call mom. And the reason why I do that is because there's a particular day, it's still like burned into my head from when we were living in a hosky.
Justice calls those core memories.
Is that what that is? Maybe that's what that is. So I'm gonna tell you guys. When I was a kid, mom had a do you remember that house that she had that had the 2 lines of trees? Like you could go in between the trees. I think this is the greenhouse. No, not the greenhouse. The greenhouse.
It was the one before that.
Yeah, it was the one over there across the street from Pop-Up's house.
Yeah, where we had the schnauzer for a little while.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think
because it was a pecan tree.
Yeah,
there was like a garage or something in the back or a shed.
No. Like I remember. Okay, you got the house here, and then you had like the line of the actual tree line in the very back, right? That was like the forest, and then there was an area in front of those trees, and then another line of trees. It was almost like a pathway back there.
Oh, you're definitely talking about the greenhouse.
You remember that?
It was like a forest back here and a forest back here.
Yeah, but you could get between them.
Yes, and there was a line of trees that was like on this side, but it was like landscape trees almost.
Yeah.
So
you remember the clothesline?
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, for the non-country people, mom had a clothesline back there.
Clothesline is where you hang your clothes.
It's where you hang your clothes after you wash them if you don't have a dryer, or like our grandmother, you have a perfectly working dryer, but you don't want to use it or allow anyone to even hook it up because it wastes electricity. So,
I mean, she's not wrong. I mean, clothesline.
Waste? You're using the dryer to dry the clothes. Is it a waste?
You're working on margins. Might be.
They ain't working on no margins. Anyway. Okay. So the point is, one particular day that I remember, mom had all these clothes on the line, but she had this big old blanket, big old comforter on the line. And mom was just back there by herself. And I walk up to her and she's like, oh, I just love, it was a beautiful day outside. It was like 70 degrees and windy and it was sunny. And she said, I just love getting the fresh clothes off the line. And then she was like, doesn't it just smell so fresh? It's so much better than the dryer. Come here. And she like pushes the blanket in my face. Right. And I start laughing and the blanket's all, she like wrapped me in the blanket a little bit. But then I smelled the blanket and the blanket smelled like fresh like breeze. And like that memory of mine, every time I walk outside and it's nice outside,
that's what
I'm like, oh man, it almost makes me want to get a clothesline just to put the blanket on there. Just to do that.
I mean, there is
I'm Mr. Nostalgia. You know that.
I do know that. There is something to be said for sun-dried outside clothes, the way that they smell, because the sun disinfects them just like one step further than it does when they're in the dryer. So there is something to be said for how your clothes
and they're air drying, right? You got the breeze, and it's not like
flip side. Everything is like sun bleached. So
and there's also bugs and birds and everything.
Yeah, that is also kind of
whatever bacteria, whatever's outside.
Yeah,
it's all over your
clothes. You better hope nobody's cutting grass and it's just floating around.
And we have lots of trees.
Yeah,
so
constant pollen.
But there's also something about it. Yeah. And I think it's only something about it because it's something that we lived through, we went through, and it reminds me, when our parents separated, it was a rough time.
Yeah.
But, me and Halil were just talking about this yesterday. The memories that I have that are the good ones are the ones that make me remember it wasn't so bad. And that's one of those memories where we were at mom's house and mom was just in a good mood. It was nice outside.
And it was just a good day.
It was just pretty. It was just a great day. Everything was awesome. And on the other side of dad's house, some of the good memories I have, you remember we were living with mom, but we would go back to dad's house like every week
and hang out.
And me and dad were just laughing about this. Dad was taking us everywhere we were living at mom's house. Bro. So every time he was like, no, it's just I only had y'all for the weekend.
So
like I gotta do stuff,
right.
Because I ain't gonna see y'all for 5 days. I was like, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So he said he would wait all week and be like, okay, we going to the movies on Friday, and we're gonna take them to this restaurant, and we're gonna get up Saturday, and we're going to a museum, and then we're gonna go out to dinner, and then we're going to church.
That's
and
really what happened.
Like
too.
it was like every weekend we was going somewhere. We went bowling like 100 times.
We did.
We went to the movies like 100 times. We went, and I was telling Leah, this is why we was talking about this. We were talking about taking our own kid to a museum one day.
Children's museum, maybe.
Yeah, and I was telling her how big a part of our lives going to museums were.
Yeah.
Like, you remember how many zoos and museums?
Well, so I think for me, I remember all of those museum trips because that really was where my interest in reading and where my interest in like research and stuff
and learning.
Came from.
Yeah.
Because when I would go to a museum and I would see like, okay, there are 400 different kinds of mineral rocks. So now I'm like, okay, what are all these? Why are there so many different ones? What are they? Why? What makes them different? Why are they different colors? Why are they different shapes? Like, why is bismuth